There we go. I saw a little one in front of me, and then I don't know. I think I made it. Is this thing on? Hello, live. Well, I see Natalie. You have kindly enough to join, so it likes and somebody else and a few other people are tuning in. Hey, I'm putting on. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, talk about backstage. That was my husband giving me all the things I need. Good morning, everybody. Hey, day after Christmas, huh? Lovely to see you. So glad you showed up. So glad. Thank you very much, honestly, for giving me the the opportunity, the reason, the excuse to get my act together, to even take a shower today. Luann Ward 4, good morning to you. I see German Maid and Sandra and Blue Eyed Jen and Chana. And who else have we got here? Yep, Natalie and that one persona. And yeah, so it's a week. It's a week of vacation-y type of stuff. As I like to say, to me, this is between two worlds, right? You've got not only like for those of us who kind of celebrate the Christmas thing, but also this is the last week of an entire year. So we've got Christmas and then we've got this week that I'm always going like this, almost cradling it. It's got like we've got a week and then it's the new year and then the new year begins again. There we go. Yeah, that one persona says, good morning. Glad you're live for my morning after Christmas. Yes, I thought for myself that this was an important thing to do. One, as I said, to get myself out of bed and showered. I actually even went to yoga this morning. But it was so good because I was like, all right, you know what? I've been eating and drinking way too much and exercising way too little. Excuse me, I got to take some ibuprofen. Hey, you know what? While I'm doing this, has everybody had some water today? Has everybody had some plain old, good old fashioned tap or filtered or whatever water? If not, why don't you grab yourself a drink of water? It can't hurt and it definitely will help. Your kidneys and your insides will thank you, okay? Brought to you by the water board. I kid. The water board. Oh, that's not good. So much better. Yep, I know. Yoga this morning, I realized I was thinking about it. Like, what you don't use gets weaker, and what you do use gets stronger, something like that. But I am here for you. We're all for Christmas. It's done. We're on the other side of that thing that we've been gearing up for, right? And even if you don't celebrate Christmas, I don't technically like celebrate Christmas. You know, we got together with friends. We had some Chinese food. We helped some friends. You know, we did some stuff. But the society that we live in, the energy is different. Yesterday, many stores were closed. The energy is now different today, right? So decluttering wise, do you have stuff kind of all over your living room because you opened up gifts? You know, do you have stacks of gifts that maybe you received? Do you have some gifts that you need to give somebody? How about like bags of wrapping paper or bows that you're going to save? You know, things are different. This does not, I don't know about you, but doesn't this not feel like a Tuesday? To me today and yesterday did not feel like a Monday. Yesterday felt like some day that had no name on the Monday through Friday calendar. It felt different, right? Today feels different. Today doesn't feel like a Tuesday for me, even though technically it is. And so embrace this amorphous, different feeling of energy and let it work for you. Okay? Okay, interesting. Annalisa said, hello, I didn't have stuff everywhere. Had a bit of adjustment not buying so much stuff. Yeah, doing things differently causes you to make an adjustment. And it is an adjustment in what you're used to doing. You know, we did the same thing. Actually, I had a bit of a thing. So the way my husband and I, the way we live our lives is we buy the little schmitzy things, you know, little bits at a time every year. You know, along during the year. So it's not like we don't save up anything for Christmas. So what we do is pretty much the last week of the year, or you know, before Christmas, we will start to kind of jokingly put stuff under the tree that are things that like I ordered or he ordered, and it's like, oh look, it's an Amazon package under the tree. So we would have something to what do you call it, to open up underneath the tree. But we had very few items, and they were all things we knew we were going to get, and they were all kind of practical. And it worked for us. But, everybody does. Yeah. Pulled a few bins of baby clothes to sort and give away this morning. Yeah. Notice what you got yesterday. Oh, yeah. Heidi just said, I almost took my trash bins down because I thought it was Friday. Yeah. It just feels different, you know? Okay. Jennifer Lespina, you're like my neighbors here. I had plumbers 3 days last week who destroyed any semblance of organization or clean. Yeah, our neighbors sadly had that too, and it is quite a disaster. We even had, this was a fun story. So the neat thing was, I'll tell you about those crazy things. So just a couple of stories from our holidays and how the craziness of the world, you can help with it. So friends of ours were having issues with their plumbing and their like hot water heater and their electric, their electricity. So their house was cold, but they wanted to have us over for Christmas. A bunch of us, it's a tradition for them. And so we said, well, you know what? We've got space heaters. So we lent our friends a space heater. Now we use it all the time, but we had two of them. We could easily, lend them one. That was great. The night before Christmas, was it the night before Christmas? And all through the house. We were over at a neighbor's house, and they have a family, they have kids and stuff, and they said, oh my God, our stove, I don't know how to politely say STB, our stove broke. And oh my gosh, we don't know what to do. And we were like, oh, but we rarely use our stove because we got one of those air fryers. And so we actually made it fun. Our neighbor Matt walked over down the street with a baking sheet of giant potatoes ready to bake in our oven. He called us. We preheated our oven. We took a picture. We set a timer when the potatoes were done. We texted him and say, hey, your potatoes were done. So sometimes those things that are crazy, unexpected things can end up being fun stories. So yeah, Jennifer, blame the plumbers and hopefully they fix the problem and you can get a semblance of organization and clean back into your life. Okay. Alrighty, Mary, it's a chalk thing. You need help? Okay. You need help? This is what I do. So here, let me take a sip of tea before it gets tepid. I love this. Susan Porter 8761 is saying, first year, I'm not going after Christmas clearance shopping. Notice that. Okay? Notice that. Isn't that a nice feeling? It's different, catching yourself in it. And you know what a feeling is? It means like you feel like you've got everything. Okay? Jenny is saying, pay it forward, kindness costs nothing. Yeah, it does, and it makes it great. It gives you that good feeling. Because here's what I want to offer to you, and let me do this because I realized I kind of hit the ground running as I often do, is for folks who've never met me before, my name is Beth. I am Destination Decluttering Life Coach. I do TikTok lives often, frequently, and I also have an email, an email mailing list you can get onto for free. It's a whole bunch of cool stuff, and I do one-on-one coaching, okay, via Zoom. That's my like little 15-second. Here's who I am, and this is why I'm in your life speaking this way. So Mary said, I need help. This is what I would love for you to do. And anybody else who needs help, wants help, could use help. Hell, we could all use help, right? Pop your question in the comments section. Let me know what you're kind of struggling with, what you, want help with. I want to put I like having a little blankie on my lap. Gives me a cozy, focused feeling. Probably my ADHD swinging in. What's jamming you up, Bunky? I bet I can help. And if you know what, we're all here to help each other. This is one of the great things about me doing these TikTok lives. And I don't say me. It's not me. I'm going to say it's all about everybody who's showing up right now. Is that I do my bit and I help out, and invariably it's like we're all in a room together and somebody asks a question and I endeavor to speak to that one person and help them specifically. But in the meantime, there may be questions that I've missed. And the wonderful thing is about this cool group of people that are always collecting. And it's it's different people coming in, coming out. You do you. But people in the comment section help other people. So just notice that we are all here to help each other. None of us is perfect. Perfect is unachievable, nor would you want it to be. Some of us we're all on a road trip and we're all going towards our own destination decluttered, and we are all a certain, we're all in different, closer to it, further away, haven't even started, all that. But I'm a little bit ahead of you, so I can turn back and say, hey, watch out for that pothole. Don't do that thing that I did. Don't get distracted. I am literally here to save you decades and time. I'm here to save you time. So I've learned how to declutter, not just my home, but my life. I want to teach you that too, so you can do it in a much quicker way than it took me, so that you can go out into your life and just live and do stuff. Okay? So I only can do that if I know what's jamming you up. This is what I would call like when I'm doing decluttering coaching. And I often use the car driver metaphor, the road trip. So you'll hear me talk about that. This is what you know what this is like, is being in your car and saying something isn't working. And you can do that, and you can rev the engine, you can do all these things, but sometimes you have to pop the hood and say, there's something wrong under the hood. There's something wrong here, so I can fix it. I see what's wrong so I can fix it. And if I can't fix it my own self, what do? Is I get a professional. I get my car guy to be like, I don't know why it's making this noise. And he's like, I do. I can help you fix that. That's kind of how I am. All right. There we go. All right. Here we go. Just Ducky just said, up and Adam had a big drink of water. As I said, everybody, start with your physical body too. I got to share this. Your physical and your nervous system. I want to say like your spiritual body, your electric system, the energy in you. If you start that way, it's going to be better. Drinking water, especially if you have overindulged like I have for the last many days, near weeks. Water, everybody. It's like hydrate. A friend of mine, I joke, she said she went to an outdoor yoga. The woman would stop people and tell them to hydrate because we forget these things. And then if you're cranky, sometimes you're like, oh, it's only because I haven't had any water lately, okay? Everybody, grab some water, okay? Much better, okay? Somebody is lost in a cornfield detour, okay. Oh, somebody is talking about clothing, and I see this. Lynn is organizing your bedroom. Okay, Jesse's going to get this house in order next year. I am here to help you, okay? And I am here to help you. Next year is good, but we can start right now. We can start right now. Everybody, let's do this. Let's not delay. Let's not push off with all the good stuff, because the further you delay the stuff that you have to do to get to where you want to go to, the further you delay your starting, that's just what you're doing, is you're delaying getting to your destination. And Jesse and everybody, what I want to offer to you is, it doesn't even start with doing the physical decluttering right now. What it starts with is right up here and right in here, is what I like to call your head and your heart, your brain, your heart, your nervous system, your thinker, your all that. And I think the greatest thing will be, I'm going to do this myself this week, is this week, sure, putter around and do some like surface cleaning so your place looks better, but grab yourself a notebook, okay? Grab yourself a workbook, a 50-cent crappy little thing you get from Staples, and start making your plan. And not even your plan. A plan is like a thing in order, but start defining your destination, okay? Your destination is what you want your home and life to look and feel and function like. Not just next year, but every room. If you sit down and you write all this down, getting your thoughts out of your head onto paper, calming your nervous system down, so you even allow yourself the time to sit down quietly and do this. Funny thing is if your house is chaotic, you know what you can do? You can go sit in your car. Lock the doors, sit in your car. Go drive somewhere, even to drive down to a parking lot. Get away from it all. Get yourself some quiet and say, all right, you know what? How did this year go? What worked out? I want more of that. What didn't work out? I want less of that. Write that down. Get it out of your head and into paper. And then that's where you're headed towards. Then you can start making your plan. So like for a plan, for example, Vixen 022 is saying, moving out by the 30th, any advice for packing up each room? Yes. Okay. And I say that, the SOS, help. Very cute. Yes, this is what I want to offer to you. You have a short amount of time, right? Do the best you can practicing what you pretty much don't want to bring with you. Any decluttering now is less decluttering you're gonna have to do when you move into your new place. Okay? Do the best you can with the time you have. So the 30th is what? I have 2 computers here. I'm just looking at my calendar because I don't keep this stuff up in my head. I have external tools that help me remind me of stuff. Okay, so we've got my calendar. There we go. Okay, so you've got from today until the 30th. Declutter the best you can, but if that's like, I can't even make decisions because of the shortness of time, notice that when you don't give yourself enough time, you're not making the best of decisions. but go from room to room. When you are packing up, label those boxes as detaily as you can. Also, at least even when you're packing, categorize things into what things, what are the things I use all the time and what are the things I use less frequently. And then how about this, Vixen? Even if you don't get to declutter what before the 30th, because you need to be out by the 30th, 31st, that's cool. Don't beat yourself up about it. But start your new place differently. What I mean by that is you have the opportunity that not a lot of people do, is to start with a clean slate. It's kind of what the new year is, kind of metaphorically, and in our minds we're like, this year was a hot mess, next year is going to be different. Don't we always say that to each other every year? Let's make next year different. I would love to freaking be with you all year next year, to watch you grow and to do these things, so that this time next year we're all high-fiving each other saying, wow, what a ride it was, huh? Okay, so notice that. But I say this, Vixen, to say this, all right? So set up your boxes so when you move into your new place, you know where the boxes go into different rooms. Bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living room, whatever. Okay, so label them so it makes it easier for you to move in. But then when you're moving in, don't be so hot and heavy to immediately unpack everything. Use your packing and moving as an opportunity to see the things that you need to use, that you use most often, because you're going to be digging around. Where's my toothbrush? Versus, okay, there's my 14th pair of shoes that I don't wear. Okay? Notice the stuff. Live in your home for a while to discover the patterns and the things that you really use. And notice the stuff that even in 6 months, if you haven't opened a box, it might be seasonal stuff, but allow yourself to give the opportunity. And thank you, everybody. I see a bunch of flowers and things like that. I don't often ask for those things, but I've been told that when you send me those little gifty things, it amplifies getting my this message out to more people. So thank you so much for doing that. That's very cool. The little roses, and I don't even know what it means, but it's very awesome. So thank you for doing that. Thank you also because it gets the word out to other people. But don't freak yourself out. Breathe, calm down your physical and nervous system. And you're going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to organize it the best I can, but I'm going to start differently when I go to my new house. Okay? Notice that. All right? Hope that helps. What else do we have here? Yes. Okay. Yep. You could put stuff in storage. Yeah. Noting that you can put things in storage. That's good. Storage units. I mean, I rail against them when they're used for permanent. Because what it basically is you're just avoiding making decisions in your head and your heart about what you have. But they can be so useful, because notice that if your stuff is miles away in a thing and you're not dealing with it, it means at a certain level, you've made a decision that you don't even need that thing anymore. Then it's the decision of, why am I hanging on to it? Let me get rid of it. Okay? So even Miracles of Money is offering up. I was in a hurry to unpack, and now I've spent hours reorganizing. Okay? Diane is just saying, I just moved and I'm pretty settled, but I've downsized and still have stuff to go through. But notice Diane, and notice Miracles of Money, the way that you unpack these things, and the stuff that you unpack and the stuff that you don't unpack. All of this is such good, I don't want to say evidence, I can't think of the word, but it's such good information to notice what you use all the time and what you don't. Right. Yes. And completely, storage units are expensive, but that, I would like to think of this. I like to think that, because first of all, when I do my paid coaching, I often can say to people, look at how much you spent on a storage unit last year. My coaching will cost the fraction of that. The other thing too is, if storage is expensive, maybe that is a motivator to use it only for a temporary amount of time. I have a friend from high school who confided in me. She's like, I just forgot I had stuff in storage, and they make it so easy for you because they put it on auto pay, and you forget that you're giving away hundreds of dollars every month to a storage unit. And storage units are proliferating now across our country, because we are encouraged to buy stuff, but we only have a finite amount of space, and then we feel bad about giving away things. It's really a racket, and I want to disrupt that kind of, consumerist, here, buy something to feel better type thing, you know? Notice that, okay? And especially around Christmas. Here's the thing, did you get what you wanted for Christmas? And I'm going to be more specific about that. Did you get the feeling you wanted for Christmas? What feeling did you want? Did you want love? Did you want appreciation? Did you want to be seen and noticed? And maybe you wanted some quiet. Maybe you wanted just some chill. What was the vibe you wanted? How did it go? Did the items that you received give you the feeling you wanted? And sometimes they do, but sometimes it is for a smidge. I'm not saying, trust me, I'm not a minimalist, but there's such good stuff about it. But notice that we don't buy things. We buy things for function, but we also buy things for feeling. And if the items that you give or get are not giving or getting the feeling you want, notice that that's maybe because you don't get those things for long term. Maybe you'll get that long-term feeling of love and appreciation and memories by going and having an event with somebody. You know what I mean? You go out for coffee with a friend is going to be better than here's, something I bought at Kohl's, But notice what the feeling you have now is. And if it isn't the feeling you want in your life, you can do something about it. And it can start with decluttering your home. It can start with, next year, planning for next year's Christmas, looking what went right and what didn't go so well here as far as the feelings go. Okay, like Catherine is saying, Christmas was so clean and uncluttered surfaces, now to the stored. Yes, so anybody who has heard me for a while, this is how I coach. I like to make things wicked easy and fun and simple, because if it isn't wicked easy, fun, and simple, I don't show up. I roll my eyes and I tune out and I do something else, because you've not inspired me to do so. So I endeavor to inspire you, and I make it fun for myself by using alliteration. So, when things start with the same letter, here, you'll learn something. Look at me. I'm freaking multiplication. No, I'm Schoolhouse Rock. I'm Grammar Rock, So in alliteration, they didn't have a song about that. But anyhow, so I think of clutter in 3 levels. Surface, there's an S. Stored, there's another S. And sentimental, there's another S. And notice when I'm using my body talking about that, I start on the surface. You've got your surface friends and you get people Surface clutter is just, the kind of stuff on surfaces, any horizontal surface. So right now when I am doing this TikTok live, if you are so motivated, you could conceivably get up and move around still listening to me and work on your surface clutter, because it's basically stuff that is on a surface, but it's not supposed to be there, so you know where to put it. Now, right now, you may not know where to put everything because you've bought a bunch of new gifts in your house and you need to figure out new homes for those. When you're figuring out a home for something, that's when you go from surface to stored clutter. You're storing an item you've decided to keep. You're storing it, and it's usually behind doors in a closet or in drawers, a bureau, in your kitchen, in your bathroom. Doors and drawers is another way that I think about stored clutter. Stored clutter, doors and drawers, and they pretty much kind of rhyme, at least the way I pronounce it with my latent Boston accent. So you've got surface, you've got stored, and then you've got sentimental. Sentimental stuff is the stuff that you hang on to that tells you a story of who you were, where you came from, people you knew. And that is often the most challenging clutter to figure out what to do with. Okay? That's why I say to you, don't start with the sentimental. Go up back to the shallow end. Start with the surface. Get your surfaces clean. It will make you feel better. It will quiet your mind. And when your mind is more quiet, then you can have a conversation with yourself about the stuff that you decide to keep or not. Okay? There we go. Jennifer is asking me, is there a simple container to fit under for half of the sinks? I want the slidability. Jennifer, this is where you are going to have to do your own due diligence. I don't know what your sink down under the sink looks like. I would say this. Measure your stuff. Go look on Amazon. The way I have my kitchen sink underneath stored could be different from you. I will say for functionality, because I am so all about functionality like nobody's business. I am a design-oriented mind, and I love it when you can solve little problems that makes it effortless to live in your life. So one of the things that we did that was a game changer was when we had our kitchen kind of rejiggered and we actually had a space under the sink, is I got a trash bin that pulls out on like wheelies, you know what I mean, on like a slider type thing, pulls out so we can put the trash in it. That was a game changer to me, and I see you want that too. But do some measurements. There are other people out there who do that. I am more about, frankly, decluttering your life in a way. So there are different design solutions that can help you with specific problems. Notice you want something simple and you want to change a problem. But I am more about, why am I hanging on to stuff I don't want? Why am I hanging on to things that bring me down as opposed to light me up? How can I better release things that no longer serve me? Both stuff in my house and thoughts and feelings and people and opportunities, and live more of a life that feels right to me. That's more my jam. Okay, but there are people that do spatial solutions problems, okay? All right, we got a whole bunch of questions here, a whole bunch of people. Just as a quick thing, hey, since there's so many of us here right now, day after Christmas, could you give me a Christmas gift? If you have not followed my TikTok page, Destination Decluttered, my name is Beth, Decluttering Life Coach. I show up a wicked lot on TikTok because I love it. Could you just follow my page? It helps get the word out to other people. I do TikTok lives often. I do record videos, and I do pop-ups, and I have all sorts of things I do. So if you are just hearing me now for the first time, you're like, hey, maybe I like what she does, or share it with somebody. Maybe you know somebody who is saying, I wish I got a decluttered home for Christmas. Send me to them as a gift, and boy, can I help. Okay. Leah Labello Pronto says, my craft room is so cluttered. Aish, and you know what? Craft rooms tend to be catch-alls because crafts need little things to do the crafty things, right? Aisha says, coach for therapists, says, how would you classify digital clutter? Digital clutter can fall under each one of those categories, but dealing with them is different than physical clutter. So if you think about it, surface clutter, you've got your desktop on your computer, that's your surface clutter. You probably haven't just stored them in files. Your stored clutter is the stuff that you files, but that could be anything from, here's a recipe to here's a receipt that I need to keep to whatever. And then you've got your sentimental digital clutter, which is, here is a scan from of an old picture of my grandmother. So notice it's all of them. There we go. All right, so I'm going to scroll back here, and I'm going to see if there are some questions here. When there are a bunch of people here, I can't often, I use often so often. Ever since I heard somebody say that I mispronounced it or putting the T in there is wrong, I didn't realize how frequently I use the word often. Okay, so here we go. Yep, storage units are expensive. Okay. I have a garage and a carport, so fortunately I don't need a storage unit. However, Diane, I want to offer to you sometimes when we have free storage, this house that I live in, sometimes that just delays us making decisions. That if we made a decision and took an action, that's what I'm here to help you with, making decisions and taking action. And taking actions, as I like to call this, again, alliteration alert, and even that is an alliteration, how freaking meta, alliteration alert, aligned action. What does that mean? Aligned action? Think of this line. You are here today. Notice behind me. This is really one of the few times that looking at your screen when I'm doing a TikTok live is going to help you because, and if you have heard me before, you'll know what I'm talking about, so you don't even need to look. Keep on doing your surface cluttering while you're doing this, right? I am pointing right now to a little thing that I have on my wall that looks like, to me anyway, a pin on a Google map. I use Google Maps all the time. I used to write books about road tripping right here. So I am a map person like nobody's business. My entire family, we freaking loves maps. We are like, what's that thing when you're a lover? Anyhow, I'm going to distract myself. We are here today, December 26, 2023. Every day we are here today, and we are in a little car. You're a driver in your life. You are on a road trip called your life. And all of us are basically, honestly, here, let's get really deep real quick. We are between birth and death. We are all between those two A's and B's. But in the meantime, we are here today, and inevitably what we are looking for is driving towards a life that we feel good in. Hopefully you're there already. If you're there already and you're decluttered, you're not listening to me. But if you're here with clutter, you've got some stuff between you and that life you want to live. I get it. I'm here myself. I say that because what's aligned action? Aligned action is when you're taking actions that will get you closer to your destination decluttered. The things you do, an action you take, a verb, that's what's happening. I was writing down a list of stuff to do myself, and I realized you need to put the verbs in there. The verbs will help you, and the actions you take when you do them, and they say, and you know where you're aiming for, when you know what your destination is. Start this week even. Just jot down some notes. I want this room to look this way. I want more of this in my life next year. I want to do more yoga because I stretched this morning and I feel better. And I was like, man, I got to do more of this because my body is going to get weaker and tighter because I'm getting older and I need to actively do things if I want to live in this body comfortably. Just an example, okay? Aligned action is the actions you take that will get you closer to where you want to go. Some of them can be little piddly, iddly, biddly things. Other ones, what I call a scary shortcut. One massive thing you can do to make a great difference. Like I consider, frankly, signing up for one-on-one coaching with me is probably a scary shortcut. I know it's a shortcut because me with you one-on-one for 10 weeks when I do a 10-week thing, it's like having a, what do you call that? Because I don't go to the gym, like a personal trainer. Somebody in your life every week to help you get to where you want to go to stop you doing things that aren't getting you where you want to go and help you start new habits, to help you, have the external accountability to take actions that are going to get you where you want, and to also help you kind of pop the hood and say, okay, what's wrong under here? Why is my car not moving forward? That's what one-on-one coaching does for me. But that is a shortcut like nobody's business. You will zoom closer in the 10 weeks, in the first 10 weeks of next year, if you started coaching with me, and this is not meant to be salesy, I'm being legit. Like 10 weeks would be what? Like mid-March? Let's say you don't even start. Let's say by the end of March, if you started with me at the beginning of the year, by March, your life would look so different, feel so different if you had one-on-one coaching with me than if you just did it by yourself. Now, the scary shortcut is that working with me costs money. Now, it doesn't cost a lot. It's always going to go up because my rates are always going to increase because I have a business. But you can also do it by yourself. It will just take longer. That's fine. You do you. But take some action. Maybe the action of liking or whatever you call it, following my TikTok page. That's an action. Boop. Very low level. Doesn't, wake up your nervous system. Maybe signing up for my mailing list. Let me see if anybody's done that. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. Oh yeah, we got some people there. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. Joining a free mailing list about decluttering. Very low level, free. Why not? I do offer, and people will attest, I give so much free stuff to the people on my list. I just love it. I like to feel like Santa Claus all the time. Okay? Taking little actions in the direction you want to go. That's what I'm all about, right? All right. Star is saying, loving your haircut. So cute. Thank you. I actually think I had a good hair day today. My guy Phil is awesome. I'm actually going to look at my calendar because I think I have a haircut appointment with him. Yeah, next week. Short hair. I realized I need to make more appointments than letting it go a few weeks. I saw a video. I don't know if this happens to you guys on TikTok when you say like the video you made last year. Oh my God, my hair looked so goofy a year ago today. It looked like a bowl. And it was because I had waited too long before haircuts. Too funny. All right. I love it. Diana's recommending the Buy Nothing Facebook page where they get things to use. Katie is saying, with the new year coming, I want to, and I'm bringing this up because I want you to pay attention to the words you use and how they make you feel. The words you use externally, but also the words you use internally when you're talking to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. I'm here to stop that. Shh. Quiet yourself down if you're beating yourself up, but also notice the words that you're using about decluttering, because Katie is saying she wants to tackle and she wants to conquer. Now, if that doesn't sound like this old-timey movie my husband and I are watching with Katharine Hepburn and Peter O'Toole about, knights and, swords and queens and kings, oh my gosh, I am not a tackler and a conqueror. I'm a lover, not a fighter. This girl is mine, okay? I'm a lover, not a fighter. So I say, instead of tackling and conquering, how about loving the stuff that you have in your house and realizing it maybe did it for you and now it's time to go, or it does it for you now and you keep it? I like to bring the love into the decluttering. I find a lot of those aggressive war type words tend to come from male coaches, and that's just not the world I live in. War to me is, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Sorry. I'm not sorry, actually, because I am a Gen Xer who has a head full of music and pop culture references. This is how my brain works, and I love it. When I crack myself up, when I endeavor to make you laugh and realize that all of our brains work in so different ways, you can work with a brain like mine and have wonderful results. So if you're bummed out and saying, I have ADHD, I can't do this, you can totally do it. All right. Now there's 86 new messages. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to them in the next 24 minutes, but I'm going to endeavor to do that. So I am doing this. Aisha is asking if I have a podcast. No, I am lazy. I don't have a podcast now, but this is what I call my podcast. I'll tell you what it is I have a Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. And what I do with my Destination Decluttered YouTube channel is I upload the recordings of these TikTok lives. Okay? When you do that, you can listen to the words because the screen, what you see on the screen is inconsequential. You can listen to the recordings of my TikTok lives on YouTube, and boom, it's a podcast. You can listen with your ears. You don't need to see it, okay? And what I would do even if I had a podcast would be exactly this, is show up in your life and say, you got this. You can do this. I can help you. Are you struggling? Let's stop and figure out what you're struggling with and then get started doing something different. It's all about doing something different. Okay? There we go. My Gen X besties, baby boomers, get it. You know, trust me. Silent Gen, Jones generation, all of them. You know? There we go. Gen X does have a song for everything because we freaking rock. Okay? Vixen is saying, what about important documents? So many papers and envelopes. How to get them into boxes and into bags. Okay, put them all, if you're packing, put them all into a box that says important papers. Organize them later after you move. Okay, don't freak yourself out about it now. And then get curious. Everybody, I know this because I do these TikTok lives all the time because I love them. But I digress. And I will offer to you that a lot of us are jammed up with paper. Gen Xers, we remember life before the internet. We remember when if you didn't, and boomers too, completely, before there was the internet and things were electronic, if you didn't have that piece of paper, you could get in wicked trouble. If you didn't have proof that you bought that thing, the receipt, if you didn't have proof that you got married, if you didn't have proof that you bought your house, if you didn't have proof that you got the oil changed, whatever it was, if you didn't have that piece of paper, you could get in trouble. Your nervous system tries to keep you from getting in trouble. Your nervous system in your body is all it wants to do is keep you safe from harm. So when you try to throw away some paper that you think might get in trouble, if you don't pay attention to the context of the world you're living in now, it still freaks me out that we are going to be almost 25 years into the 2000s in like a year and a half. How did that happen? I feel like 1999 was like 5 years ago. That's because I'm forever young, right? But notice that your nervous system is back in the Stone Age. It's trying to keep you from harm. So if you can't calm it down to say, you know what, it's okay. I don't need this receipt anymore. I bought the stuff and I don't need to prove it, so I'm going to throw it away. Oh, okay. I was just trying to keep you safe. It's a conversation, and it's not all up here. It's down here, really. Down here is what keeps you hanging on to stuff that you technically don't want anymore. It's true. Excellent. Tammy just says she signed up for the free newsletter. Awesome. Bunch of people have. But notice how I approach this differently. I'm a certified life coach, but I also know from myself, I can struggle. My sister, we joke about this thing called poor paper plate. About like anthropomorphization is giving an inanimate object human qualities. Oh, but I'm going to feel bad for that mug when it's got a chip and I liked that mug. So what am I going to do with the mug? And I'm looking around and I've got like literally, I've got a mug here. I bought this. This is a story. I bought it when I was on vacation in Ireland, but it just doesn't work for me for my tea because I like a big old American mug right here. But then I decided to keep it and keep my my highlighters in it. And who knows? Maybe using a highlighter is old school. I don't know. I have a ruler here that I measure things for. But check this out. This isn't just any old ruler. This was my dad's ruler when he was in high school. I found it when he passed away, and I use it. And the funny thing is, yeah, there's his name, and I always will like his nickname was Clem. I don't know why. In high school, my dad's name was Clem, and I think he had a crush on a girl named Pat. He did, Pat and Clem. My mom's name's not Pat, but she knew about Pat. It's okay. All right. So there we go. So the free newsletter, let me just give you a quick smidge. Like, it won't even take a minute. I have so many cool things. I'm so freaking excited to share with the free newsletter this week. And I don't do it weekly. I do it very organically. I do it when I have something good to share with you. That's when I will send out an email. I will also be very mindful because I don't want to overwhelm your inbox with bullshit emails that are just because it's on some sort of mechanized thing. Boy, do I not like those things, so I don't do them myself. So every email you get from me comes from the heart, comes from me sitting down and writing an email and pretty much sending it out as soon as I'm done, because that's how excited I am to share the info. Like, I've had this info with me before Christmas, but I knew before Christmas you'd probably be distracted and overwhelmed. You'd be like, I can't even read it now. So this week, maybe you have a little bit more wiggle room. Maybe you're off from work. Things are different. It feels different. I'm going to send out an email at some point this week, maybe today, not sure, because I'm still getting back in the swing of things. Oh my gosh, I have so many good things. I have some stickers. Okay, where are they? I made these stickers. I didn't make them. I got them made because I had a coupon. I decided to say every little bit helps is a nice little saying, right? So Destination Decluttered stickers. People on the mailing list, I'm going to tell you how you can get them. They're going to be free because I like to do that. I've got a workshop coming up, a free workshop just for the people on the mailing list. It's going to be about breeze blocking. If you don't know what breeze blocking is, I do this pretty much how to organize your time so you get the stuff done. I call it breeze blocking because I love Palm Springs, California. What else do I got? Oh, we do a monthly Zoom, a free monthly group Zoom with everybody, whoever wants to show up from the Destination Decluttered email mailing list. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. And I said calendars. I don't know what. Oh, yeah, because I do, duh. I do one-on-one coaching, but in order to coach with me, we need to do a consultation. And I will be firing up the consultation calendar starting next week. So if you're interested in me being in your life for 10 weeks, 20 weeks, 30 weeks, however long you want, we can make that happen. I'll get the calendars going too. Okay. So look at that. That barely took a minute. That's all the stuff. But yes, so free. Oh, I see a bunch of you. So yes, this will be fun. You guys, this is going to be fun. What a great way to start the new year. Doing little smidgy things to get yourself moving in the right direction. Okay. All right. So what else do we have? Yeah. Oh, I love it. Catherine says breeze blocking is the bomb. It is. It is a wicked bomb. Okay. Shelly just said, and maybe you missed it, maybe because the comments kind of, they go fits and starts. So Shelly, DestinationDecluttered.com is my mailing list, or excuse me, is my website. On that website, there are two forms. One is on the join page. The other one is just if you just scroll to the bottom of the homepage where you just put in your email address. Here's the fun thing. Then you promise me you are not a robot, okay? Because I don't work with robots and I don't want to turn you into one. What I want you to do, excuse me, I want you to embrace your humanity, your humanness. Stop trying to make yourself and beat yourself up for being a robot. Declutter like a human. Every day, what do I mean by that? Every day your energy is different. Every day your time that you have committed to doing different things is different. Let's embrace that and work with what you have as opposed to beating yourself up for what you want. Thank you. Somebody just sent me a snowman. It was very cute. I don't know what it is, but it was wicked nice. So thank you. Okay. Is there a minimum session purchase for your consultations? I don't quite get how you're saying it, but let me answer you in what I think you're asking. My consultations are free. It's a 1-hour consultation because basically what it is me getting to know you, getting to know all about you. I get to know you, you get to know me. And the goal of a consultation is to see if we are a good fit to take the next step for you, which would be paid coaching with me. So if it sounds like what I offer can help with what you're struggling with, then we get into that, do you want to do coaching with me? It costs money. it costs, the cheapest it's ever going to be is right now, because my as the months go by, it will increase. But I have, you know, boatloads of clients that have found it to be so worth it to them. But only you and your nervous system and your bank account and what's important to you can determine whether what I charge is going to be something you can work with. Okay, I know that. That's why I called my coaching a scary shortcut, because to spend money on something to get a result can be scary. There was another thing I was going to mention about that. Oh, just in the practicality of it. The only thing I offer for coaching too, maybe this will help you, is a package of 10 sessions. 10 sessions. That's all I sell. I like to keep it so simple because I get overwhelmed with too many details and I say F it. So when you sign up for me, you get 10 1-hour Zoom sessions. And typically that is 10 weeks in a row, at least to begin with, because that coming up, that regular routine of, you know, doing that gives you the momentum. I have many clients though who say, gosh, that was so good, and I finally just started to get it at the end. I'm going to sign up for another 10. And then they do that and they get even more, and then another 10, because we work with, life is going on. In the past year, I have coached people through getting ready to be divorced. I've coached them while they are met the love of their life during our coaching. I am coaching people when they have had traumatic physical things happen to them, when there has been death and all sorts of things, and having somebody with you to even, you know, say, I don't even know if I can do with the decluttering of the house, but I really need to declutter my calendar so I can spend more time on the things that are going to get, you know, help my partner or help me or whatever. Having somebody in your life to just sit down for an hour a week can be so freaking helpful. Okay? And that's what I do. That's what I've done for this past year. I love it so much. I don't think I'm going to mess it up. Why would I break something that I enjoy working? Now I do, and I do go off the grid. So I work with your schedule because I travel. So there are weeks that I travel that I don't coach. What do? We just come back the next week and coach. You have something that comes up? Fine. I love being flexible, because robots and machines aren't flexible. I'm a human. I can be as flexible as I want, and I get to decide how I coach. So user 5207 bloody blop bloop. I hope that helped answer your question. Okay. Okay. Yeah, totally decluttering your calendar. Oh, it's a game changer. Feels so good. Yeah. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad I answered your question. So thank you for letting me know that I answered it. So yes, 10 sessions. It's only a 10 session block, because trust me, people are like, I only need a couple of sessions. Nah, you'd be surprised. You would be surprised. Well, I'm telling you, you'd be surprised. All right. What do we have? Okay. So let me say, what else do we got? Okay, so Elle says the last newsletter I got was on 12/12. That is distinctly possible. Again, I know I went away for traveling. I do that. I call it going off the digital grid. And I'm just clicking right here. And I also know it can be overwhelming in the holiday season, that I am shooing away emails left and right because I don't want to deal with them, right? So let me just double check. Yeah. The last one I sent was the 12th. I will send one this week. I am a human. I do this in the human way so that it lands to you when you're more likely to read it, when things aren't so chaotic, okay? So nothing has gone wrong just because you haven't heard from me, okay? Nothing has gone wrong. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. That's how you got it. I think I joined. Okay, Sarah, if you haven't, this week, expect an email from me. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Probably not Thursday because I've got some things going on. And if you don't get it, here's the cool thing. If you are on the mailing list and you've signed up and you've got the welcome email that says, hey, and that's an automatic thing, just to give you that piece of trust that, like, I signed up and it worked. Because who doesn't? I hate it when I send something off and I'm like, I don't know, did they get it or not? Did I sign up? I don't like that ambiguity. So that's why I have an automatic, like, yep, you're good. If you don't get an email within the month, let me know. You'll know my email address. It's pretty easy, Beth@DestinationDecluttered.com. Actually, I just noticed that at the top of my TikTok page, there's a link to it. So email me and be like, hey, I think I signed up, but I'm not getting your email list. Be like, I'm not getting your emails. Then I can look into it. And the cool thing is, I'm psyched. I have a pretty good email service that I've been able to say, hey, this person's blacklisted, but I don't know why they're blacklisted. Can you unblacklist them? And then they're like, yeah, sure, here. So we can work it out, but you need to tell me what's working it, okay? So there we go. We got a bunch of stuff going. Hilda might be ready for you. Okay, figure it out. Baby steps. I'm all about the baby steps, people. I am so about the baby steps because when you say, yep, this is where I want to go. This is where I want to go. It's almost like maybe, I don't know, my nephew is doing like college tours. Like you go and you test out things. Do I want to hang out here for a year? Do I want to get my degree in that? Trust yourself that if this feels right to you, there might be something there. The people who don't jibe with me, that's okay. I determined when I wanted to be a coach, I didn't want to be a coach that had to wear a suit and a headset and be all fake because that's just not me. I said, if I'm going to show up as a coach, I'm going to show up like me. And this is me. I wear the same thing every day. I do laundry, trust me. But I show up as a caring, loving Gen Xer, as an auntie for my young folks, as a niece for the whatever, as a compatriot. I'm here to help you, you know? So Elderberry, etc. is asking what the first step to decluttering is. Here's what I say, is the end, the destination. Treat it like a road trip. That's the other thing. I'm going to make myself a mug here because I have these ones. I make them to inspire me when I'm sitting at my desk. This one says, listen to your co-pilot, not your backseat drivers. I am your co-pilot. I'm like, where do you want to go? Let's go. We can do it. I can help you. I've got the map. I've been here before. The thing that stops you is your backseat drivers. Don't do that. It's going to be hard. It's going to cost too much. You can't afford it. You're not worth it. You'll never do it. You've been this way for so long. How do you ever expect yourself to change? Those are your backseat drivers who, boy, do they discourage you. Okay? Oh, okay. And Red was asking, so on one side, this is one I made for myself this year. Listen to your co-pilot because you're the driver. I can't drive your life. You can drive your life. Actually, I have another mug that says drive your life. Because I love the driving metaphor just takes the drama out of so much of this. And it gets to be like, you know what would I do in my car? I would listen to my co-pilot. Me, external co-pilot. You have an internal co-pilot. You have a voice inside you that once you can quiet down those chatty kids in the backseat that are saying, don't go, don't go, don't go. When you learn how to quiet them down, that's when your co-pilot's like, we can do this. This is going to be fun. Let's not even wake up the kids in the back seat. Let's just drive. And that's where you start. You start with, okay, now we're driving. Where do you want to go? So start even this week. Get yourself, and I'm not big on this. I might experiment with making a pre-printed like book this week. I don't know. I like to play with stuff. We might do that, but get yourself a book and start writing down your destination and hit the 3 things. What do I want my home to look like? What do I want my home to feel like? What do I want my home to function like? That's your destination decluttered. Like that's the external. That's your external world. What do I want my external world to look and feel and function like? Then flip it and do the same thing. What do I want my internal? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want my life to feel like? Not as easy to say the looky thing, but definitely more important. And then how do I want it to function? You write those things down and you're going to be on your way. That to me is the first step in decluttering your home and your head and your heart and your life and your calendar. Okay? So that's how you do it. All right? LL loves 1D. Can you explain how to join the mailing list? Yes, of course. DestinationDecluttered.com/join. Wicked easy peasy. Also, too, there's like I mentioned earlier that all of my TikTok lives, and I don't mean to turn this into an infomercial. I totally don't, but I'm just trying to give information for people who are just kind of tuning in later if they haven't heard things, is I download all of the recordings of the Destination Decluttered TikTok lives that I do, and I upload them to Destination Decluttered on YouTube. You can then listen to them when I'm not around and you want some motivation. You want somebody keeping you company while you're doing the surface clutter, maybe the dishes, the laundry, things like that to make it more enjoyable, you know? There we go. Lemon and Shallow Custom Creation says, my problem is emotional attachment to stuff. That's not a problem. That's a human condition. You are not alone in that at all. What you're finding is that your habit of attaching emotion to items is keeping you probably hanging on to things that you don't want. If you have an emotional attachment to something and you like it, you keep it. I almost feel like my mother would say that the nuns used to hit her on the knuckles because she was left-handed. Keep the stuff you like. That feels very aggressive. Keep the stuff you like. Let go of the stuff you don't. It can be simple to say, but not easy to do. But I help you. I help make it easier for you. Oh wait, okay, there you go. We need a mug that says, how do you want your life to feel? I'm writing that down. How do you want your life to feel? Hey, how about this? I will figure out in the next month or so. I know how to make these mugs because I have a thing set up to see how I can get that. There we go. All right. So elderberry, save some to YouTube. I just mentioned that, and the cool thing is Catherine, thank you so much for doing a bit of a what do you call that, moderator thing and helping her out there. Okay. Yeah, so notice this. And thank you so much for user 5207. Give me the idea. Any other mugs, like seriously, this is what I do with the people on the Destination Decluttered mailing list. I'm like, hey, you guys, I'm thinking of making some stickers. Hey, I'm thinking of making a mug. What would motivate you to, if you read it? So mine says, on one side, trust your co-pilot, not your backseat drivers, and also, because why not? You get two sizes, and I'm left-handed, so sometimes I do this, and sometimes I do this. The other one, it says, I love this one too. Drive your life, because you are the driver, in the direction of your dreams. Drive your life in the direction of your dreams. You're on a road trip. You're here in December of 2023. We've got 2024 is right ahead of us. How do you want your 2024 to look? That's your destination. How do you want your 25? How do you want to feel energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally, all the human things? How do you want to feel next year? Start writing those things down. Getting your thoughts out of your head down onto paper is a massive, awesome first start. I'm doing it myself. I'm going to hang out myself quiet with a notebook this year, reflecting on last year and saying, what's my plan for this year? And then the cool thing is that I'm going to do I will share with you this, people on the mailing list. I'm going to do a breeze blocking workshop on, I think it is going to be, what is it? Sunday the 7th. So we're going to sit together and unlike the other ones, because it's the beginning of the year, we're going to go a little bit broader. You know, those big ass calendars, is everybody getting, maybe it's just me, that big ass calendar that everybody's showing me on TikTok? I will say that overwhelms me. Seeing the entire year like that overwhelms me, and I don't even want to deal with it. It ignites my nervous system to be like, too big. That's okay. You know what I do? I chunk it down. I look at the whole year, like temporarily, but then I chunk it down to the month, then I chunk it down to the week, then I chunk it down to the day, then I chunk it down smaller until it's like, okay, I can do that. There we go. Okay. Lemon and Cello, I am so sorry you got hit by the nuns. I am a lefty as well. Same thing happened to my mom. You know, think the opposite from the other day would be a good quote. Oh, I love it. Think the opposite. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah, because if you're all the stuff you're feeling and looking at right now that isn't working for you, there is another side to the story. Page 2. I always think of Paul Harvey, right? There is another side to that story, and the side is the opposite. If you're feeling heavy, there's a light. If you're feeling dark, there's a light. If you're feeling overwhelmed, there can be calm. If your house looks cluttered, it can be decluttered. You know? There we go. So notice this, yes, and celebrate the small wins like nobody's business. They are all small wins. Everything. I write down my small wins every freaking day to keep me going the next day. Look at all these small wins, people, and they are wicked small. It could be like I took a shower today. Sometimes I've done that. I ate a healthy breakfast on Sunday, August 27th. I read on the couch because that's me doing the things I want to. You know, I took a morning walk and a stretch the very next day. I write that stuff down because those are the little things that make it different. Yes, write them down. Notice that. I love it. That one persona just said, notice that. I love it. I'm also thinking, this is all good stuff. Yes, I love the checking off the box done type thing. Such a good feeling. All right. So all y'all, everybody, I'm not from the South, but y'all can come in handy. It is 11:59 East Coast time. I am East Coast person. I know you have things that you've probably planned on doing today that I don't want to keep you from. I am very mindful of my time and your time. So I'm going to be signing off now, but let me just give you kind of the bouquet of help to say this week, I will be doing more TikTok lives, but they are not scheduled. This one was scheduled because I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, the next day, the next day. When I do pop-up TikTok lives, if you have followed my page, allegedly, TikTok will alert you to me doing the live. Okay. So notice that. Diane, you're going to yoga. I freaking love it. There you go. Shelly, I am from Massachusetts as well. I love it. I am from it used to be the 617 and then it turned into the 781, as they say. I will be showing up on TikTok doing some lives this week, I promise. And I am good with my promises. I have gotten really good at that because I don't like people who don't like to keep their promises, so I keep my promises. But I don't know when I'm going to do it, so it's going to be a pop-up. However, couple things. So if you don't get the pop-ups, no big deal. Get on the mailing list. Seriously, easiest, lowest stress thing to do. It is free. You can unsubscribe if you don't like it. Like, so low barrier to entry. Okay? And sign up for the mailing list. Good stuff is happening. TikTok lives are going to be pop-ups. And if you're like, wait, I want more, but she's signing off, I got you. I got you. You know why? Because I have collected, because I'm a collector, I collected all of my TikTok lives on recording, and they are free for you to just listen to on the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. Listen to them in the car like a podcast. Put them in your earbuds when you're puttering around, cleaning up your surfaces. Get inspired, because the only reason I am even doing what I'm doing is to help you get from stuck to started, to drive in the direction of that destination you want. I am here for you. I show up, I show up, I show up until you can learn to show up for yourself. Okay? Okay, there we go. I believe you have to turn on the notifications for it to specifically notify you are going live. Oh, good to know. Oftentimes, I will say this. I do get a thing that says that TikTok is notifying people, but thank you for that. I need to get more into some of the things I can do on my end, but I appreciate it. There we go. Okay, I wish, you know what? TikTok does save your lives, elderberry, etc. It does. If you go into your creator content, they do that. But then you probably, I know what you mean though, like save them as a recording for people to watch them. You just need to find an external page. Stuck to Started is another mug. I love it, you guys. This is awesome, okay? Okay, you know what? Maybe we'll do a bunch of stickers. We'll do some mugs. I don't know. I don't want to add to your clutter. But it could be some fun stuff. You could even make a screensaver on your computer or something like that. Started. Okay. All right. I'm signing off right now. You all rock. You go. Just think about this week. All right. New Year's is next week. Between now and then, you can plan the road trip because you want to start to where you're going. Okay. How about a notebook with those things? Could be, Rabbit. I will think about all these things, and I love all these good ideas. I love it when we get into kind of a collaborative, creative feeling, okay? It's really good stuff, all right? So thank you so much. You guys rock. I will see you this week, and even if I don't, I've got you in my heart, and I want you to just feel like you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Little baby steps over and over again is the only way you get to anywhere, so start those baby steps today, okay? I'll see you later. Bye. 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 Here we go. Bye.